I'm starting out with some fresh bread, which I'm going to just make a simple peanut butter and jelly sandwich. There are some tips that make it better during grilling. So I'm just gonna take my peanut butter and spread it on one side of the bread. The jelly I'm gonna put on the other bread slice. The reason you don't want to put peanut butter on both sides of the bread when you grill your sandwich is because the jelly otherwise will ooze out on the sides because it has no bread to hold on to. So be as generous as you want with your peanut butter on one slice of bread and the jelly on the other. And by the way, if you like tips like that one on my videos, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up so I know to keep adding them in my channel. Now let's close the peanut butter and jelly, and now we have a sandwich. Now I'm going to take some cooking spray and spray both sides of my sandwich. You could also butter it, whatever is your favorite way of doing it. And you want to spray your sandwich before you place it on the hot pan so your spray doesn't burn. And then it turns dark and the sandwich doesn't look the same. So let's place our peanut butter and jelly sandwich on a hot pan, and I'm gonna cover it with a lid. You just wanna grill it until that first side is nice and golden, and once you do that, you're just simply gonna flip it over and put the lid back on. And since you sprayed both sides of the sandwich before grilling it, it's ready to go. And once that's ready, you're gonna remove it from the pan onto your cutting board, and let's check it out. It's melty, gooey, all the peanut butter in there is so good. To make sandwich roll-ups, I'm starting out with 2 slices of bread. You can totally keep the crust, but I found it easier to roll these up without the crusts. So I'm simply gonna slice off the crust really close to the edge. Don't worry, these ends do not go to waste. Mom eats them all the time. And then I'm gonna take my bread and place it nice and flat on my cutting board. I'm gonna take a rolling pin. I'm using my kids' rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, you could use the back of a pan and flatten out your bread slices. You want to flip it over a couple of times like that because the idea is to get a nice and thin surface to spread your peanut butter and jelly. I'm using creamy peanut butter here that I'm going to spread over this slice of bread, but if your kid goes to a nut-free school, you could also use a nut-free peanut butter alternative, which I'll link some of my favorite ones below for you. And on top of my peanut butter, I'm using about a teaspoon of jelly. You don't want to overload this because otherwise it'll ooze out on the sides. But I take the back of the spoon or the knife and spread it all around the bread. By the way, if you find tips like that one helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so I know to always include them on my videos for you. To roll these, I'm going to roll them the longest side of the bread. That way you have more bites. So you just roll them and tuck them just like that. And then I'm gonna take a sharp knife and cut them into smaller pieces. As you can see, the peanut butter and jelly are inside of each of these, making these the perfect lunch that's bite-sized for younger kids. I'm gonna grab this compartmentalized lunchbox to pack these roll-ups into them. I'm gonna place them standing up, as you can see. To make this more nutritious, I'm going to add some blueberries and strawberries on the side in another compartment. If you wanna bulk up this lunch or add some veggies on the side, I have some veggies and some dip that I'm packing in another container. I'm gonna place the lid on both of these and keep them in the fridge until it's time to go. And at that time, I'll just take them out of the fridge and place them in a lunch bag with an ice pack and zip it up, and it's ready to go. Now you could use a store-bought Uncrustable and follow the steps and put it in the air fryer, but I'm also gonna show you quickly how I make these Uncrustables at home. I have a bunch of them in the freezer ready to go. We're starting out with fresh sandwich bread right here on my board. So I'm gonna take my peanut butter and put a generous amount right in the middle of my bread. You can use jelly, jam, even fresh fruit to make your filling. I'm gonna put some right in the middle. You wanna keep your filling in the middle of the bread so when you use your sealer, it'll seal the edges well and nothing oozes out. And then all you have to do is take the other piece of bread, flip it over, and make that sandwich. This little tool is called a sandwich crimper or sealer. It's inexpensive. I'll leave the link below for you, but it's super helpful to make these Uncrustables, regular or even my pizza Uncrustables. You're gonna love it. Let me show you how it's done. There are some tips to make sure it comes out great. So first, you wanna line up your crimper, sealer, in the middle of the bread, making sure that you don't go over the edge, and then you're gonna push down, not in the middle, but on the sides to first cut the bread. You wanna keep going down until you kind of feel the cutting board underneath. Once the crimper has cut through the bread, that's when you push it down and seal the edges. Doing it like this, it's gonna prevent the filling from oozing out, and it's gonna get the edges sealed really well. The crust all the way around should practically slide right off. And then I just lift it and push it to release and gently remove it. And now we have an awesome Uncrustable. I'm gonna tell you what to do if you're starting out with a frozen Uncrustable, but either way, whether it's fresh, you just made it, or frozen, you do wanna take either some butter or spray and spray both sides of the Uncrustable. Spraying both sides of the Uncrustable is going to make it nice and golden on the outside, so delicious. I'm gonna preheat my air fryer for a couple of minutes just so it's nice and hot inside. I'm gonna place my Uncrustables in the air fryer at 375, and if they're fresh, they only need about 5 minutes, but frozen about 7 to 8, a couple minutes longer. And once they're golden and crispy on the outside, they are ready. After that, you're just gonna grab them, place them on your cutting board. You can eat these right away or pack them in a school lunch. If you do that, don't cut them, just place them in a container with your favorite healthy sides as is, and they're good to go. They're so gooey, delicious, and melty. You gotta make them. If you like easy lunches like this one, give this video a thumbs up so I know to make more of them on my channel for you. Below in the description, you'll also find my crimper to make these awesome Uncrustables. See you next time.